Three, two.
We're going. Wow, this is the podcast. We're not going.
Okay.
We're going. This
We're
is the
going.
High Button podcast. This is the High Button podcast in the middle of summer has a little bit more meaning to me for some reason. In the middle of the winter, whenever we're doing the High Button podcast, you're just, not that I'm not in grind mode, but the High Button podcast in the summer is just maybe a little bit more laid back to me. I don't mind. I just know what the listeners want in terms of sound going into their ears. Just a little bit more laid back of a conversation. In the winter, I don't know. I think that goal was in last night for Matthews. Oh, I don't know. I think that was a high hit by Kachuk. I don't know. A lot of debating. Summer, it's no. Let's pull out the pitch and wedge on the par 3 and just see how close you get it to the pin. Just there's something about the High Button podcast in the summer that I enjoy just a little bit more about that in these months. But anyways, Jeff, how are you? How's the summer been treating you? I know I'm talking about myself, but to start off, how are you? How is everything?
Good. Fantastic time at St. X. A couple nice days here, pieced together with a couple floods in between, but all positive here.
Yeah, the floods are tough. Very tough. It's a very unfortunate. Well, I was playing hockey the other day and someone was bringing up global warming. I just don't know enough about global warming to know if I'm a believer or non-believer. I don't know if all this has to do with global warming. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. I don't do my research on it, but man, it makes you think. I play hockey with some guys who are in their 60s, pushing 70s, and they've lived in Halifax their whole life, and they're bringing up stories that basically they're just saying, I've never witnessed these floods in the history of my life living here. I've never witnessed fires like this in the history of my life living here. And you just hear these things and you don't get nervous, but you think, man, if this hasn't happened in history, is it going to continue to happen in this province? It makes you think these disasters.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I saw something the other day. It was like Halifax, just the Mother Nature's punching bag this past year in a bit, or Nova Scotia in general.
Carbon tax too. Everything's expensive. The price of milk. It's just Halifax, Nova Scotia, Atlantic Canada. We've taken a beating for sure. And I say this time and time again. We're the toughest. We're the toughest of tough. I don't say that to brag. I don't say that to be like, oh, look at us over here. We're tough. It's in our DNA. We know how to take a hit, fall down, and get right back up. We know how to take a punch and not cover our eye. We know how to move forward in times of travesty. And I think a lot of it has to do with, your neighbor and someone you can lean on, someone you can call. Hey, my tire's flat. Do you mind if can you come over right quick? I don't really know how to change a spare tire. Do you mind? You got a buddy there in a minute.
Yeah. Hey, our studio might be underwater.
Honestly, I thought the studio was flooding. I just called my neighbor right quick. She came on over, checked it. No, everything's good, Justin. I was fine. I was back to normal at the cottage, drinking my white wine. It was good. It's just there's something about this part of the world that is a comforting feeling, I think. And a lot of it has to do with knowing that if you are in the dumps, there is always going to be someone there to lift you back up again. And you can't say that in other parts of the world. That's why traveling is really important. That being a young adult, traveling and seeing the world, I think is very important because you get to see these lessons of people. You get to understand people a little bit more when you leave your culture. If you grow up in Halifax, Dartmouth, whatever it is, and you know the people, you become maybe a little bit too comfortable to it.
Oh, yeah.
And you take it for granted. But when you leave and you go to other parts of the world and you see how people treat other people, you become very grateful, I guess you could say, for how this part of the world is run.
Dude, for sure. When I went to Toronto, I was all gung-ho for university. I just turned 18, ready to go, take on the big city. And by the end of that first school year, I was like, get me back to Halifax. Every single summer I came back.
Yeah.
You just it takes that going away and meeting the others. I like some people in Toronto, but, like you said, it's what we're used to. So here we are.
And being from Halifax, you get to know the people, you get to know the community, you get to know a lot of things very well. That's why I think Jim Midgley is a great hire for the Halifax Mooseheads for this upcoming season. I don't know how many years he signed for, what the contract is, whatever. Friend of the show, Jim Midgley.
Oh, yeah.
There's something to be said about bringing a local individual to a local team, especially like the Mooseheads. Getting to play, I think I had 8 games there. having a local guy on that team, there was a little bit more push for the guy. There was a little bit more support for the guy. There was a little bit more, okay, how's he doing? But in terms of a coach, Jim Midgley is as Halifax as it gets when it comes to coaching the beautiful game of hockey.
He coached you when you were...
No, he never coached. Maybe like spring league,
Right,
summer
okay.
league.
Right.
But if I go to a hockey rink and I look right, and I go to a hockey rink and I look left, I guarantee I can find someone that's been coached by Jim Midgley. I had coffee with a friend this morning. We brought up Midge randomly, even before I knew this Moosehead thing. And he is ingrained in the hockey culture in Halifax. And coming off 2 years in the New York Rangers organization off a bench, I'm not saying that he didn't have experience before, but you better believe it right now that he is some of the most high-level coaching experience there is in Atlantic Canada. I don't know who else. There's some coaches that are coaching professional hockey in other parts of the world, but coming off a bench in New York, where the hockey, I don't want to say pressure, but the spotlight is on the New York Rangers, and there's pressure on you. Definitely not as much as the Mooseheads. But coming back to this market, being Jim Midgley and having those 2 years of the New York Rangers under your belt is going to give you confidence. And it's going to put more eyeballs as well on the Halifax Mooseheads. And I don't think there's a better role out there right now. Well, based on what Tyler Peddle said on that podcast, he said the Mooseheads are going to be doing well this year. I don't know too much about the Q, and so I asked Tyler, and I was like, how are the Mooseheads going to be this year? And he goes, yeah, they're same as this year. They're going to be a contender for sure. So knowing that and knowing what Jim's going into can only be exciting for him and his family, and most importantly, the fans. As selfish as that is, it's about the fans. It's about the people that bring the money, that buy the beer, that buy the jerseys, get the face paint like you. It's all about us. But what we like as consumers, we like to judge. We like to talk. We come on this podcast. We give our opinion. That's what kind of creates society. We like to share our opinion, and we like to gossip, and we like to, share what we like to think. And it just makes it a little bit more exciting knowing that when you're bringing up these conversations, a local guy is in play. Jim Midgley is the head coach of the Halifax Moosehead, a guy that knows how to win, a guy that has been around hockey in Atlantic Canada for years now. And now he gets he's the leading man now. It's very cool to see, and friend of the show as well. I think he's been on twice. And Jim just had nothing but time, and it was one of those episodes when after the podcast was over, he stuck around for an hour. He's one of that's how you can tell, like when the podcasts are done, if a guy sticks around for a bit and just shoots the shit. That's how you know. That's how you know he's a good guy. That's how you know.
I think he was my first podcast.
Was he?
I'm almost positive. I'm like 85% sure. Yeah, in the old Blue Studio. I think he was the first one I produced for. And I remember he was going to New York and taking on that new gig, and like we talked to him before, and like you said, afterwards he stayed around, and I was like, wow, this is pretty sick.
Yeah.
And here we are, 150 episodes later or whatever, 2 years later.
Yeah.
And he's the head coach of the Mooseheads. It's cool.
For sure.
Yeah.
Cares about his players. That's all you want. You want a guy that cares about his players and holds them responsible for their actions. And I think with that method coming into junior hockey from the NHL is going to create a different environment for that dressing room, knowing that there's a guy leading the charge that he's fresh off Broadway, fresh off MSG. You're not going to listen to that guy? You kidding me? He's just around the best. He was coaching Patrick Kane 3 months ago. Like you're telling me you're not going to listen to that guy? I don't know. I just think it creates an exciting timeline right now moving forward into, when does the season start? October?
Yeah.
It just creates a really exciting storyline for hockey in Halifax.
Yes.
It's very, 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 it's a great hire. It's a great hire. At the end of the day, it's a great hire. It's a great fit, and it's good for hockey, and it's good for Halifax.
And he was the head coach for like a season, or was it half a season before? I think after Ducharme, when they were kind of on the rebuild stage. So it'll be really exciting to see him come back with a team he can really get his hands on and try to do some damage with, right?
It's Jim Midgley. It's Midge. Oh, it's going to be great. It's going to be a lot of fun. On another topic, man, Halifax hockey is just booming. It's just coming off the World Juniors, moving into this year. I know it's tough to get ahead of all, golf. You don't want to skip the summer. But we always talk about the future. Unfortunately, I'm trying my best to live in the moment. I'm taking a breath, but it's hard not to look forward to this Pittsburgh Ottawa game. And when you're out and about and you're talking to people, talking to fans, talking to local business owners, talking to friends, family, cousins. Well, I guess that's family. When you're talking to people, the common trait right now of this game, Pittsburgh-Ottawa preseason, is the price of the tickets and how pissed off people are. Now, Ticketmaster is foreign language to me. Ticketmaster is, okay, I'm going to a Leafs game, all right, I guess I go to Ticketmaster. I'm going to a Habs game, I guess I go to Ticketmaster. Moosehead game, Ticketmaster. What? No. I thought I just went to Atlantic Box Office.
Yeah, Ticket Atlantic.
Ticket Atlantic.
Yeah.
What's it called?
Ticketmaster.
Ticketmaster. What's this? So now, all of a sudden, there's a local game. It's not the World Juniors. It's not the Mooseheads. It's a preseason NHL game. So it's foreign to a lot of people from around here because I don't remember the last time we had a preseason NHL game around here. I don't want to.
At least 10 years.
Yeah, maybe it was. I was at a Detroit Red Wings preseason game. Yeah, when I was playing with the Max.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I don't know, around there.
Yeah.
And you're looking at the price of these tickets for a preseason NHL game, and you're like, whoa, wait a second here. Let's go to aircanada.ca and let's see how much a flight to Ottawa or Pittsburgh is. Let's see how much a room one night in a hotel is, and let's see how much a ticket is for a Pittsburgh Penguins game in Pittsburgh or in Ottawa. And you can justify going to Ottawa or going to Pittsburgh is just as cost effective as paying $1,000 a ticket to watch a game preseason in Halifax to see Sid Ottawa. Now, here's what comes up. Here's the backlash. Here's the debate. Here's Justin, when's Sidney Crosby going to play in Halifax again?
This could be it.
That's a great point you just made, Jeff. Well, Justin, if Halifax wants to grow as an economy and have professional hockey teams here one day, they need to be charging these prices. Jeff, that's a great point you just made again. The point I'm trying to make is that this economy can't handle those prices for a long period of time if an NHL team or if a pro team ever comes here. I don't know what the Thunderbirds charge, maybe $50 a game, whatever it may be. But it's just not fair to the average family, even to the average dude. I've been talking to single guys that live in, just live in an apartment, don't have bills that are too high, that just get their groceries, their car payment, maybe they got a gym membership.
No wife and kids.
And no wife and kids, and they can't even afford it.
Yeah.
So that's the part that eats me up, is that the average hockey fan can't go. And I went to Toronto this year to watch a game, and I couldn't afford the lower bowl. I was in the upper bowl, and you look at the lower bowl and you see those suits, and you see those guys that are on their phone, and you see those guys who are drinking their martinis on the third row, and you just you just look at that and you go, that's not an atmosphere. That's not.
Do you think that's what this game will be like?
I'm not saying that's what it's going to be like, but if I go to this game, we have great seats. Okay, we're third row from the glass. We're on the side where Pittsburgh warms up twice. Like, it's a write-off, so whatever. I'll pay for it. It is what it is. But I don't want to go to this game and have an environment that is lackluster. I know it's preseason. I know maybe you might not be so thrilled to see, I don't know, Ottawa. Obviously, everyone's going to be psyched. Everyone's going to be psyched to see Pittsburgh and Sid. But you just don't want to go to this game and have people from Ontario flying in. There's rumors out there that people from Ontario are buying the tickets and selling them at a cost to people from the Maritimes. And if they don't sell them, maybe they'll just fly in. I don't know. You just don't want this event to be corporate. You don't want the Nova Scotia Showdown to be an event that you forget in a couple weeks. And that's the topic of conversation I'm having with people in the community. So that's preseason. I'm not paying $500 for a preseason game, which I get. But man, Sid, preseason, Halifax, I don't care.
When was the last time Sid would have played in Halifax?
I think it was like second year in the NHL.
Yeah,
he had a preseason, maybe second year maybe. He was playing for Pittsburgh, and I think they played against Ottawa. Actually, it might have been. Maybe Boston.
Dude, that's going to be sick, though. We're talking atmosphere, but just watching Sid from 3 rows up in the Metro Center or the Scotiabank Center, that's going to be That's gonna be a good one for
Well,
you.
here's the plan. I'm not even. I'll show you my cards. I don't care. We have the tickets. I'm still working on a way to get into the Metro Center and then hopefully use those tickets as a giveaway. As much as, maybe people think, oh, High Button Sports must be nice. You guys get to go to the game, yada, yada. We're a company of the people. If I can get these tickets and give them to 2 people that win a contest, I will be so happy. Trust me, I want that. Because of these conversations I'm having with people. People aren't happy, man. If I was I'm Sarah. I'm getting married here. I don't have any kids. My mortgage, we make an okay living, but I feel for those dads and those mums that just can't afford to take their kids. It's just a bummer, because I know growing up, my dad would do anything to bring me to those games. Anything. I remember going to preseason NHL games as a kid. I think I saw Montreal Boston with my dad and my mom, and it went to overtime, and it was one of the most memorable events I've ever experienced, at least in Halifax. Even though it was preseason, it was just unbelievable. It was awesome. And to take that away from a 12-year-old kid, it's brutal. So I hope I'm not going to give up my sources, but I got a couple ways to get into the Metro Center. And if I can use those resources, then yeah, we're going to use those tickets as a giveaway, and then hopefully some people at home will be able to get in. So we'll see. That's where my head's at.
Yeah. Stay tuned, I guess. Stay tuned for that. Hopefully.
Yeah. I do want to. I want to get into the hats. High Button Sports clothing. I'm not gonna lie, it's been tough to get off the ground. High Button Sports is.
There's been a couple discussions about it over the years.
I have so much respect for like Alex McLean and the East Coast lifestyle. Like, I don't know how it's so hard. I don't know. The profit margins are like $8.
Oh,
and then you're like, I gotta go.
It's the easiest thing to talk about in theory, but it's the hardest thing to just put and get going and get the wheel rolling.
So here's my pitch. Can we lower the lights in here? I'm going to get dark. We'll do it like this. When you're buying a High Button Sports, piece of clothing, a hat, long sleeve t-shirt, short sleeve t-shirt, you're not just buying a piece of clothing. You're not just buying a hat. Essentially, you're buying a statement. And that statement says, I'm done settling for second place. Why are you laughing?
No, I'm listening.
That statement says, I'm going to go after what's mine. That statement says, I'm going to achieve what I believe. Why are you laughing?
I'm liking it. It sounds like a mission statement. It's good.
So all you're doing when buying a piece of High Button Sports clothing, you're not buying a piece of clothing. You're simply making a decision. And that decision is to go after what's yours. We've done it here at the company. We're going to continue to do it, and that's what we believe. So one more time, when you buy a piece of High Button Sports clothing, you're not just buying a piece of clothing. You are simply making a decision to go after it. High Button Sports. That was pretty good.
There you go.
I thought of that for like a couple days.
Really?
Yeah.
Dang.
I was thinking of making a commercial out of it or something. Like sometimes you see those what are they, cologne commercials? You see Brad Pitt or Johnny Depp up there.
Nike Just Do It, all that sort of thing. You know?
Well, I was thinking more
cool.
Well, Nike's, yeah.
I watched Air the other day. I finally did my homework you gave me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Oh, it was good. Yeah, I thought I thought it was a very good movie, and it all took place in kind of the one building that they went out a little bit, but to watch it just form, it was a good movie. Yeah.
Yeah, really cool movie.
It's crazy that that's a true story.
I think the most underrated part of that film was his mom calling Nike and being like, no. If you want to sign my son, he gets whatever, 15% of the royalties or something.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that just changed the game forever, right? Like her making that phone call and them agreeing to that. I gotta read that book. Have you read it? Was it Shoe Knight or Shoe King or something like that?
No.
It's it's like the whole story. I think that's part of it. But yeah, that was a good one. Taking risks.
Yeah, that's one era I wish I was alive for. Was like the late '80s, early '90s, just to see the Michael Jordan explosion over pop culture. That's one thing I never watched as a kid growing up was basketball. It was just so hockey straightforward. But I wish my dad would have sat me down and be like, no, 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 watch this basketball game. It's Game 6, Utah, Chicago. I think it was Game 6. He hit that fade away. I don't know. But that's one thing, yeah, I definitely wish I would have watched as a kid. And that's what I mean about memories, man. As a kid, it's all about kids. These are... You listen to this podcast, half the stuff I talk about are just memories from growing up.
Yeah.
That's why I'm so passionate about this Pittsburgh game and the price is just being dropped a little bit because these kids got to get in there for memories. You got to have a little imagination. What's the best part about growing up? It's about talking about the past a little bit and talking about your childhood memories. Imagine being 12 and then you wake up one day, you're 35, you go have a couple beers with your buddy. Talk about when you're 12 years old, you got to go see Sidney Crosby and the Pittsburgh Penguins play Ottawa at the Scotiabank Center.
In his potentially last game played there.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's good job, Jeff. That was nice. I like how you added that there. But those are the things I'm talking about when it comes to that. You need those memories for sure. And hopefully it comes true. Hopefully, I don't know. I don't know if there is a way that those prices drop, but it would be nice if it happens.
Yeah, we really got just a taste of what it's like really bad. Like, that must have been a strategic move for them to jump from Ticket Atlantic to Ticketmaster right before this game.
So from what I hear is that Ticketmaster is essentially a way to legalize scalping.
Yeah.
That's essentially people are able to buy their tickets and then resell them on Ticketmaster at a surplus. And that's what people are nervous about with the Moosehead games is that that's going to happen there as well. So if you want to go see Halifax versus Gatineau on a Tuesday and Gatineau's good, Mooseheads are good, you could potentially be paying $200 for a Moosehead game, which is outrageous. So that's kind of the scare, I think, right now with the people. Plus the price of milk, the price of gas, the price of whatever, price of everything.
Oh, yeah.
The price of everything. You can't leave the house right now without spending $10.
Literally, like today I wanted to go the entire day without spending money, and I can't pulled in here and it's like, no, almost out of gas. It's like I made it so close, but it's just the way it is every single day. You're spending money.
I remember the days where I used to live at my parents' place in the suburbs. And maybe that's not the best example. But when you live like downtown Halifax, you can't leave downtown Halifax. You can't leave your house without spending $10. You can't. You just can't. Imagine living in a city like New York, LA. Everywhere you go, there's opportunities to spend a couple $5 here, $6 there, a little $2 here.
It's true.
There's just money being spent every day, every second, every minute, every million. It's just money.
Yeah.
Money's being spent.
Like, how hard would it be to piece together 3 days where you don't spend $1? It would be impossible.
Yeah.
You could meal prep. You could have all your suppers made so you don't eat out. You could fill your car with gas, whatever. But you're going to have to go over that bridge. You're going to have to pay that toll.
Speaking of, did you ever get those, remember when we were in Boston and took pictures of your license plate? Did you ever get a bill for that?
Yeah, I think so.
Did you?
I got something in the mail. It's sitting at home. It was just like a thing, and it was just like, this is not like a gratuity. Gratuity, is that the word? This is not like a cover. Like, this doesn't count for anything. This is a notice. Like, you're still on the hook for this.
So do you know how much it was?
No, I got enough Halifax parking tickets to worry about, let alone ones from the USA. You can suck it, man. Screw that.
What if we got to go back to the States and like, you can't come in. You got to pay
warrant
your
out for my arrest.
You got to pay your tickets.
I don't know. I'll take another look at it, but like, I think there might have been something. Dude, I'm getting bodied with it downtown, man. Living downtown, parking. Little story earlier this week, I got a couple, and they were going to my house, like my parents' house in Bedford. So then my parents would relay them to me and be like, hey, we got a notice, like you got to pay this ticket. And I've been putting it off, And anyway, my mom went in to pay one in person the other day. And she was like, hey, I want to pay like one of my sons, just because like I didn't really like, I don't know. It was like, I didn't know if I could like do it in person. And I thought I had one from the Ice Jam from when I had a temporary plate, and I didn't know if that applied. So I was just basically telling her to go like check to see what the deal was. And they're like, oh, ma'am, your son has $200 in parking tickets and he's got a court date in September for them. And I was like, Ooh. So yeah, I'm gonna have to go in and take care of that, I guess. But they add up, man. That's only like 4 times where I got caught out of 2.5 months of living downtown.
It's funny. Like I had the same thing
Yeah.
happen to me. Same
Court
thing.
date?
Court date for not for parking tickets, for other things like just
Yeah. Mischief.
mischief. But court's not fun. Paying the court's not fun. That stuff's not fun.
No.
But
yeah.
you just got to do it.
So my mom paid one of them, and they're like, okay, that gets him out of his court date, but he's got to like come in and foot the rest of them. So I got to make a stop this week, I guess, take care of it. But just one of those things.
Ugh.
Dude, I got one at 5:47 the other night too. They stopped ticketing at 6, and Buddy got me at 5:47. That one stung.
I was watching a show the other day in New York how parking is such an asset. If you have a parking spot in New York outside of your house, sometimes people don't leave their house for weeks because their parking spot is so good. So they debate their social life. So let's say you have a really good friend and that friend is having a party Saturday night, but it's all the way across town. You know, it'll take 2 trains, a limo, and a helicopter to get there.
Yeah.
Or you could just take your car.
Yeah.
Sometimes people will not go to events because of their parking spot downtown. How convenient it is. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
Like they value the space in front of their house as another addition of their house. So let's say your house is the size of this basement. They look at the car in front of the house and go, okay, no, I can go sit in there for a couple hours and this is part of my space in New York. That's how condensed it is. And that just goes back to like traveling and just seeing the world in other parts of the world and being grateful to be from here. I can park 4 cars in my driveway right now.
No one would say a word
can you
ever.
imagine? It's like, Jeff, I need you to go do this Chicago, Shabukto, Bedford game. No, I can't. I got a great parking spot. Sorry. Like, you imagine?
Dude.
You just have opportunities out there to go do stuff. Nah, a parking spot right in front. I can't leave that.
If I was in New York, there would be 0 chance I would own a car.
Dude says he'll
0.
never go back. He was driving there once to go see. He went to a Rangers Pittsburgh game.
Yeah.
And he drove there from Plymouth, I think. And he said he'll never go back. He's just like, it's the most disgusting, most
really
busy, most.
Oh no, I'd live there if I could.
Would you?
Yeah, I would definitely live there. I've wanted to since I was a kid.
I have to experience it. I've never been.
Since the old Casey Neistat vlogs, buddy, I've wanted to live there.
Yeah, those are sick vlogs.
Oh, those are timeless classic. You've never been though?
Yeah.
We'll probably get there at some point, man. I'd be curious to see your reaction to it and taking it all in. You like it though. It's like busy. It's like people trying hard. It's people caring about what they're doing.
Yeah.
It's people putting their lives into this shoebox apartment just so they can be part of the action and just so they can go see a free Post Malone concert at Times Square. Like, it's hustlers on hustlers on hustlers. That's all it is. Yeah. Yeah, like you don't live in a shoebox unless you're a hustler, I feel like.
You can't be afraid to sleep on a couch.
You could take that same money, move 3 states over, and have a semi home with it, or have like a full home.
I like Boston. Boston wasn't that busy though.
There was no housing downtown Boston. Like that's what people say. People don't live in Boston. Like you live surrounding Boston.
Yeah, Boston was good.
Yeah.
But I'll go. I'll check it out. I'm not in a huge rush. Once I get there, I get there. I love my space. I like to be able to put my arms out and not touch anyone. That was the best thing about the pandemic. People just gave you your space. Grocery line, airport, public transit.
You also love your deli sandwiches and pizza, though, and they've got $1 slices on every corner and $3 Montreal smoked meat sandwiches on every corner. I loved that. That was one of the sickest parts for sure. It was like you're going up to your room. Oh, let me grab a sandwich quick. Package up a nice New York sandwich, $3.50. Get a bottle of water for $1 with it. Stuff like that, like the little things.
It's the little things, man. A sandwich and a pop can make my day. If I go out and get a sandwich, pop, bag of chips, day is set. Pack it in, take a nap, it's over.
Yeah. Maybe we'll vlog it when you finally go there.
I want to give a shout out to dudes in the Penn Hill crew. Right now they're having some flooding issues, and the Halifax McDonald's Alumni Golf Tournament is coming up this Thursday, which I am going to be a part of. I'm going to,
Do you want me to follow you and film it?
Maybe.
That could be fun.
Are you working Thursday? Well, whatever.
No, I don't have to be.
Okay. and I was looking at some snaps that dudes has been sending me, and there's some water issues right now. But I want to give the crew over there, Wig dudes, all the other guys, I know who you are as well, a shout out to how hard you're working to get rid of this water. So when we're at a par 4, par 5, par 4, par 5, and we're driving the ball's not going to be plugged. Even though it probably will still be plugged, but they're working to get the water out. And I know that it's not easy right now. If you look outside in the sun, the heat, the humidity, the bugs, the insects, it's not easy right now to do what they're doing. And not just Penn Hills, to each and every single golf course out there that's trying to recover from these disasters. I'm going to Brunello tomorrow.
Ooh.
That's going to be, apparently everything's good.
Really?
Apparently, that's what I'm hearing. But I know how hard these crews are working to make sure that we have fun when we go out there and golf. So I want to say thanks to all the ground crews out there. Keep doing what you're doing. We're thinking of you. And we're going to get through this soon, and you'll be out there golfing, enjoying the fruits of your labor before you know it. So thank you very much for all the work that you guys are doing, and keep battling away. I just had to say that.
And if you see Justin hacking it down the fairway on Thursday, it was not his fault. It's the
I'll be fine on Thursday. I know Penn Hills.
Yeah.
It's open. There is some water. Now hopefully there's going to be there's going to be a lot of water now, but I know Penn Hills.
Is Penn Hills the one where the back nine's like right on the water there? Like down along. Yeah. It's like a totally different nine.
I forget what the front and the back is. Every time I go there, it's a different
The front you pass
the highway. You go on the other side of the road.
You do your first hole, then you go across.
Yeah.
And then you come back around, and the back nine's like all behind the clubhouse, like right along the water there.
Yeah. But no, exactly. It feels like a different course completely. Yeah. Great course though. So much fun. You just got to make sure it's dry. That's the only thing. So hopefully everything works out for Thursday, because I've been talking to some guys that are playing. Everyone's looking forward to it. Halifax Max, it's a brotherhood. We all stand up for each other. We all got each other's back, so it's going to be a lot of fun. Thursday is going to be a great time, and I can't wait to get out there and hopefully make a couple birdies, couple pars. You know, a bogey's going to come. I know that. Hopefully stay away from double bogeys, but we'll see what happens. I'm not, I don't have high expectations, don't have low expectations. I'm just going with the flow like I do. That's
gonna be fun,
just what
man.
I'm gonna do. And the weather's looking great. The beer's gonna be cold. It's gonna be on ice. It's gonna be in a cart. I'm gonna put my clubs on the back. You know what I mean?
Is it a charity event, or what is the deal? Do they just do it every year? Is it annual? Is there anything like I don't know. Is it just to get the old Max back together?
I don't look at the fine print. I just say, here's my money. I don't know, but it's gonna. I think it just raises money for the team. I'm pretty sure. So that's what's gonna happen, and we're gonna play some golf and we're gonna have some fun. So it's gonna be great.
They had a nice tweet about our coworker there the other day. That was actually how I found out about the question, the big popping of the question.
Dudes, yeah.
That was how I found out, was through the Max Twitter.
Yeah,
which is respect, man. Good for them. They kill the social media.
Well, that's
game.
what I mean about the Max. It's a brotherhood. They don't.
Dude,
I know Cliff runs that Twitter account. I'm pretty sure Cliff does. If he doesn't, then I apologize, but I'm pretty sure he does, and he keeps up to date on the birthdays, the engagements, all that. It's a great team to be a part of. It's a great alumni group. Let's just say I'll say that.
Yeah, that's not easy, man. Keeping up with those accounts, the amount of Twitter accounts that have come and gone for sports teams, and anyone in general. They do a good job over there. But yeah, that was a happy moment when I saw that tweet for sure. I just got to say, because I didn't we were kind of privy to it, but I didn't have any, insider baseball knowledge on it. But I was having a bit of a rough day. I had to go to a funeral last week, my first funeral ever. And it was to support someone who I'm pretty close with. And it was just not really it wasn't really an easy week last week and an easy weekend to see that sort of thing. But when I saw Duder on one knee with that big smile in that picture, man, it definitely really cheered me up and made my day. So I was so happy to see that. Genuinely, I was just, I love Duder. I think the world of him. So that was awesome to see.
Yeah, he was just as happy. Big weight off his shoulders.
Yeah. Oh, it was great.
How much time are we at right now?
38.
38 minutes?
Yeah.
All right, then that's fine with me. I do want to talk really quickly about the upcoming season, some of the challenges that we're going to be facing, and maybe how some of you guys can help us out. We do have some contracts in Moncton and Cape Breton live streaming. I am going to put an ad out there officially for us hiring, but we do have, what do they call it? Growing pains? Mm-hmm. We have growing pains coming up this year, and we're excited to face them. We're not going to run and hide and turtle and say, no, sorry, I don't want to do that.
It's not the high button way.
No, it's not just like the hats. You're not just buying a piece of clothing. You're making a decision. And we're making a decision to take our hiring, I don't want to say problems, hiring conflicts. We're going to take our hiring conflicts and face them head on. And we're going to go out there and find some of the best people possible to run our company in New Brunswick and in Cape Breton. So if you have experience in commentating any sport, I don't care if it's hockey, lacrosse, I don't care if you commentate your grandmother knitting on Sunday afternoons, whatever it is, shoot us an email. Cameramen, you know how to hold the camera, go right, left, maybe a little zoom every now and then. Fire us an email. We are looking for people that will not call in sick an hour before the game. We are looking for people that have winter tires on their car. We are looking for people that are looking for a new challenging experience. We are looking for people that enjoy traveling. Just because we're looking for someone based in New Brunswick and Cape Breton does not mean that we will take you out of your comfort zone into other parts of Atlantic Canada where we have to work. We are slowly growing into other parts of Atlantic Canada and across Canada, and I'll just say there's some other parts too. I'll leave it out, but we're growing, and we need your help. So this is not an official hiring thing. We're gonna put out like a video or something to where to email and stuff. But if you are in the Moncton area, if you are in the Cape Breton area, and you have some of the skills that I just listed off, please email thehighbutton@gmail.com. That's the THE high HIGH button BUTTON @gmail.com. That's thehighbutton@gmail.com. If you have any of those skills, we'd love to talk to you. We'd love to come up with a solution on how we can work together in the next 12 months, because there's going to be a lot of exciting things happening with this company. If you don't believe me, just stick around and watch, and you'll see. You'll miss the opportunity, because it's going to be a lot of fun. So yeah, email us. Appreciate it. Jeff, do you want to say anything as head of our live streaming guy?
If you're tech savvy, that helps. And if you want to be the voice of the Cape Breton West Islanders, then let's make it happen.
Are we allowed to say
guys.
that?
They committed to do it. Yeah.
Okay.
So
all right, fair enough. So yeah, there's
they said they were doing it.
Fair enough. So yeah, that's exciting stuff right there. Okay, so let us know, and then we'll move forward. We're gonna have a trip up to Cape Breton to interview. I don't know. We're hoping to get like 5 people, interview the 5 people, and then pick 1 or 2. That's the plan. So we'll take a trip up to Cape Breton maybe 2-3 weeks before the season starts. Hire, train. You'll definitely get a free High Button Sports hat out of it and gear. So that'll be pretty sick. That's a perk of it.
Yeah.
I'd be psyched.
Yeah.
If I was an up and coming like broadcaster, camera guy, High Button Sports would be sick to work at.
It's pretty nice. It's pretty nice. We've gotten some good guys over the past couple of years, but it's time to move out of HRM.
That's all right. We'll be fine. I'm not worried.
Me neither.
You shouldn't be worried. I'm not worried. Golf game's the same. Nothing better, nothing worse. Watch the Open. Open was great. Terrible conditions, but apparently that's what they're looking for over there in Liverpool. That was a lot of fun to watch. Some of the things that they do over there with the rough on the right and these pro courses, it is unbelievable how good they are, and they can get out of rough that is like 7 inches thick. You go to Brunello, you go to any other course, the rough is like maybe an inch and a half, 2 inches max. But you see these guys chipping out of weeds where you can't even see the ball, and somehow they put it on the green 10 feet from the pin, putting for birdie. You just look at it and you go, I have no shot in hell of becoming a pro golfer. Like, you just look and you just... Don't get me wrong, there's things in this life that I look at and I go, I can achieve that if I work at that. I look at those shots when they're in the weeds and they chip on for their second shot. I look at that and I go, I'll never be able to do that. That's something I surrender to. I just will never be able to do that unless I hit the fairway every time. Even if I hit the fairway, I'm not on the green in two. But man, it's just impressive watching these pro golfers go at it time after time after time. I shouldn't say time after time after time. I should say mistake after mistake after mistake, and they're still able to recover. And they're able to recover with millions of people watching at home and hundreds of people watching to the right and left. People yelling at you. People saying you can't handle this. People saying you don't have the stones to make it to the green right now. You better lay up. People yelling at you saying, Nike sucks. Why'd you go with them? You should have stuck with the D. There's people just chirping whatever the hell they want at you. And then you got a chip out of the rough onto the green. I can't do that. No chance in hell. I'm going to stick to podcasting in my basement. That's just good with me.
Dude, yeah. Those sports like golf, tennis, and baseball where it's all mental and it's all like mistake based, and coming back from those mistakes is just it's just another planet how those guys are able to do it.
Imagine.
No.
Every move you make, someone's judging. Every swing. Why do you hit a pitching wedge? You should have hit an 8-iron.
Yeah.
Oh, why did he putt from there? He should have chipped from there.
And like golf especially, like it takes like what, 2 bad shots for you to be out for the weekend.
You're toast.
You're out for the weekend. Like tennis, another mental game, but you can bounce back. It's a 4-hour game sometimes. You can get into it. Baseball, team game, a little different. Golf, you could toast yourself in 2 shots. You could make your weekend in 2 shots.
You're
it's
toast.
just there's nothing like it.
You're toast. That's one thing I don't like about golf either when tournaments come around is you don't know if you're in the lead or not. I know you can look at the leaderboard and you can check every now and then. At least tennis, you know who you're playing against. Hockey, you can look at your competitor. Fencing, you're looking at your competitor. Lawn bowling, you're looking at your competitor. Basketball, soccer, pickleball. I said fencing?
Yes.
Every other sport, you're looking at your competitor. Golf, you're not really looking at your competitor unless you look at the scoreboard. There's something to be said there. Is
this an actual tournament, the max thing, or is it just like are they going to keep
it's a scramble.
Okay. So you're playing for something. It's not just getting all the boys out.
Yeah, I don't know what we're playing for. I don't know if there's a trophy or if it's just bragging rights or I saw a Dormy head cover on there, like a custom max Dormy head cover. I don't know what that was about, but there's you're definitely playing for something, whether it's bragging rights or a trophy or $20 gift certificate to McDonald's. There's something on the line. I just don't know what it is yet. And I'm kind of glad I don't know, because if I knew, maybe I'd.
Oh man, I want to come film you so bad for it and just get like your emotions throughout the day. You're definitely gonna have some good sound bites out there.
I got to rush. So I think the tee time's at shotgun start. I think is at 1, and I have a dinner at the Bicycle Thief at 7.
Oh yeah.
And if I don't make that dinner, I'm in shit.
Would you mic yourself up if I filmed it?
Yeah, for sure.
Or at least like a couple of the holes.
Yeah. If you want to come, feel free to come.
Oh man, it's just intriguing. Just having all those guys.
But just know it's not going to be lovey-dovey Justin. It's going to be
I
Jeff,
know.
get out of my face. I'm about to chip on for par here.
Yeah.
Just know I could get a little. Why are you laughing? I'm not joking here. I could get a little pissed off, and maybe the fans don't want to see that side of me.
I can handle it.
There. Got recognized the other day at Sobeys. It was funny. Buddy said he liked what we did.
What did he recognize you for? The pod?
Well, he just saw my hat, and I just assumed he knew me. Good guy. Shout out to him. All right, I think we're going to wrap it up there. How much time are we at right now?
47.
Yeah, I'll wrap it up. All right, everyone listening, thank you very much for tuning in. I appreciate it. Godspeed. Summer's here. Have fun. Work hard. We're out. Peace.